Hey, and welcome back to Crazy Gamer Models. I am the Crazy Gamer and I do models. How's it going? This is going to be the next part in our two-part epoxy putty series. This one is going to be working with Milliput. This one I guarantee will be shorter than the last one because we're just looking at Milliput, none of the tools and all that stuff again. It comes in 4 or 5 different kinds. I have 3. I have the silver gray, the superfine white, and the standard yellow gray. Mostly I just use the standard yellow gray, and I use the yellow gray to mix with green stuff to make a special type of putty for certain things. But today I'm just going to demonstrate it with the silver gray stuff because I actually need to make a fixture, and this is the best way I can think of making a fixture. So this stuff's pretty stick to your hands, and when you get it wet to work with it better, it stains your hands. It leaves white residue everywhere. So I recommend gloves for this. Green stuff, not so much. Epoxy sculpt, I don't wear gloves for. But for this, I recommend some gloves. Alright, so I'm just going to add a little water to my bowl here so I have something to work with. And I've already previously made up this little bit here. This has been sitting for roughly 20-30 minutes. I'm just trying to make a cube to clamp in my vise to attach stuff to. So then I'm just tamping it down, making sure it's even. I'll show you what I'm doing. Put a little water down here on this piece of glass, and I'm just I basically need 2 parallel sides. So how I'm going to achieve that is I'm going to take this piece of acrylic right here, and I'm going to take some water and put it down here, put that there, and then I'm going to wet the other side of this acrylic, and I'm just going to press down lightly to make those 2 sides even. And then I'm going to push this on. I'm going to put this off to the side. So that's one type of fixture, and I'm going to show you how this stuff works here right now. So it comes in 2 parts, a blue bag and a white bag. The white bag is the resin, and then the blue bag is the hardener. I believe I got that right. I could have that wrong. Yeah, this looks like the hardener, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to mix up all this because I need a big piece. Normally you would only mix a little bit. This is better aligned for gap filling and things like that. Oh, wow, I'm really shaking at this. Yeah, this is much more of a gap filling than sculpting. I mean, you can sculpt with it if you like. You can cut this stuff 50-50 with green stuff, and you get a yellowish green. If you use the yellow gray stuff, you get like a tannish color product, and it's sandable, but it sculpts more like green stuff, but it sands and drills, and it holds both the characteristics of the green stuff and the Milliput. And in a future episode of this, I'll do the mixings of the stuff. And then the best way to do, I find, to do this Milliput is to roll it out and then twist it, just like we did with the green stuff on a smaller scale. This stuff is a hand killer. If you have any kind of carpal tunnel or hand issues, it is tough on your hands. It will, and it makes that sound on the gloves, but luckily it's not becoming too sticky. And we need to do this until it's uniform. And then you want to make sure with these two-part epoxies, you clean up all your tools with water. All my putties are water cleanup. I'm not going to be showing any other epoxies. There are some liquids that can be cleaned up with alcohol really well, but I mean maybe liquid epoxies will be another topic. But this is basically going to be the two-part putties for gap filling, you know, making detail, things like that. Basically, you want it all one uniform color, and this stuff tends to be a little bit more brutal to do that to than the other putties. I mixed up some epoxy sculpt today, and it went together real easy. The green stuff I did the other day for that video, that stuff mixes real quick. But this, I don't know if it's because it's a little old or what, but this stuff does not want to mix up. So maybe it's because it's such a big batch. So put a little bit of water down here. I don't want my mat to get all stuck with this stuff. It's already permanently getting stained. A smooth, cheap, disposable cutting board from the dollar store works great for working with this stuff. See, this doesn't smooth out. See how when I squeeze it, it becomes breaky? When you squeeze the green stuff, it smooths out. So getting this into a thin sheet like I did that green stuff would be a lot more difficult. But again, mixing it with green stuff in certain ratios, you lose that breakability texture of it. Also, the different colors represent different size of the granules of that make up the epoxy. Like the white is a super fine, so I mean it gets super messy. And then this is a little thicker, bigger, not pigments, but pieces. And then you have the green, the yellow stuff is like is good for like gap filling on models and whatnot. So I want to make this like this and like this. Okay, so I want to bring my glass back. I want to put some water on my glass. And then this stuff, you can work with it for about 2 hours. In about 45 minutes, it gets firm enough to where like you can have it really hold shapes. And you could like do some fine molding and stuff. But like I've made cast of weapons for Warhammer 40K with Milliput. I made it with green stuff. I made it with my combination stuff. So it works it works pretty good as a mold, or as a casting material if you use it in a mold like a press mold. So I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to make sure that doesn't stick, which it was. I'm going to and I am going to get out the parchment paper, and I'm just going to sit it back here on this parchment paper so it doesn't stick, because it won't stick to the parchment paper as it did to my glass. I wouldn't have thought it would have stuck to the glass really well, but it did. And then, like I said, you can clean it up with water with a little bit of force. Clean it up just like so. So that's Milliput. I'll show that off in the next video, just like I'm about to show off the green stuff from the last video. I just want to get this off my bench before it gets any worse. Alright, and then this is the block of green stuff that we made. It is nice and dense. It's been about 48 hours. I got Milliput on my hands. Let me take the gloves off. But it's good to go. That's going to do it for this video for Crazy Gamer Models. I am the Crazy Gamer. You guys have a fantastic day.